Hi everyone, welcome to our new English learning session. This is Sandeep and I am an English teacher. Most of the students ask me this question, sir, how can we learn to think faster in English? Most of us who lives in such places where English is not primary language. In today's session, I am going to tell you some simple solution that will help you in order to train your mind in English. So let's get started. My dear learners, when you speak English, your speech might be slower than you would like. This is because your mind is still translating from your first language, which can also sound unnatural. English, like every other language, had its own sentence structure. The good news is that thinking in English can bring you a huge step closer to fluency. It's not very difficult, but it does take conscious effort and practice. My dear learners, in today's session, I am going to tell you some simple solution that will also help you in order to train your mind in English. Our first step is think in English word. Look around you. What do you see? In your head, try to name each object in your surrounding. As you continue with this, it becomes more of a habit. So things are going to pop up into your head when you see any object, whether it could be computer, telephone, chair, desk, whatever it is. The next step is, my dear student, think in sentences. Yes, my dear learner, the next exercise is thinking in simple sentences. For example, if you are sitting in a park, you can talk to yourself. Things like it's such a beautiful day and people are playing sport with their friend. They are talking to each other. So you can talk to yourself by watching some sights. Once this becomes easy, you can move on to more difficult sentences. Our next steps, my dear learners, is stop translating. By translating, you are doing a lot more work than necessary and it's not improving your ability to think in English. Instead of using your local language, you can use your English language. Some students they use bilingual dictionary in order to search any word. So instead of using a bilingual dictionary, use a monolingual dictionary to look up the definition of any new words. Also, when you identify a new word, make sure to be using that new word in sentences or in any context so that you remember how to use that word and think of it faster when you have to speak in English. The next step is practice speaking regularly. Practice speaking is a fundamental asset in improving your fluency in English. The more you speak English, the more you will improve your fluency and speed. It's important to practice speaking regularly, even if it's just a few minutes each day. You can practice speaking with a language partner. You can do this practice with your tutor. You can do practice by yourself. Whenever you practice, so this method really works for you. Our next step is use visualization technique. Visualization is a powerful tool that can help you learn English faster. Try to visualization yourself speaking English fluently and confidently. Imagine yourself in different situations such as ordering food in a restaurant or giving a presentation at work. And practice speaking in those situations. You can take any situation. Suppose you are sitting in a room and you can take a situation and try to start speaking uh, you know you know 5 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, so as many lines as you can speak. Visualize the word and phrases you will use. That will also help in order to train your mind. And try to focus on the tone and intonation of your voice also. Our next step is use English in your daily life. Using English in your daily life can help you in order to train your brain to speak English faster. Let me give you few examples. How will you do that? We ask many questions every day, from how are you to can I help you, and can you believe it. We can use these sentences in our daily life. Let me give you few examples also, like do you have a minute, is everything okay, how was your weekend, how are you feeling today, what time did you get up, what are you watching, what are you reading, what are you eating. So you can use these simple sentences in your daily life. Even a child can also use these sentences. When you use these sentences in your daily life, so automatically you will be able to train your mind in order to think faster. My dear learner, our next step is listen to English. This is very important step in learning any language, is to listen. The more you listen to English, the more familiar it becomes to your ears. Listening to English can improve your understanding of the language, and it can help you develop your speaking skill. You can listen to English music, you can watch English movies, you can watch TV shows, you can listen to English podcasts, but make sure, my dear learners, always try to listen some simple content. Do not try to listen some difficult contents in your initial stage. So try to listen some simple content as much as possible. Our next step is, my dear learners, think in English. One of the most effective ways to improve your speaking skill is to think in English. Many of us have a tendency that translates English from our mother tongue. That's why it can be challenging for us to improve fluency. When you think in English, you are forcing your brain to work in that language. So this can help you improve your vocabulary and grammar skills also. You can start by thinking in simple sentences and then gradually move on to more complex sentences. Let me give you a few examples also. How will you do that? My dear learners, thinking in English is a crucial step towards fluency. Here, how you can start thinking in English with some simple examples, like, instead of thinking about your daily tasks in your native language, think only in English language. If you are going to do some work, make a list in advance and write down like buying groceries items, attending a meeting, having dinner with Mr. Sharma, and watch a movie with my family. So you need to think your all work in English instead of thinking about your daily task in your native language. Stay positive and patient. Look, my dear learner, you are learning a new language, so it will take time. It's not a piece of cake. So every student have its own capacity. But one thing is clear: if you will do hard work, that day is not far when you will be able to speak fluent English. So in the last, I would say you should do your practice regularly, because consistency is the key to success. Thank you for watching this video, my dear learners. I hope this session was very important for you, and I'll meet you in the next session um, with a new topic. Till then, thank you very much, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel.